Yeah, you could. Yeah, you mind doing it?
You want better lighting or?
No, we should be alright with that. Yeah, that's cool. Appreciate you. So here's what I want to do. Does everyone have a piece of paper and pen?
Yep.
Alright, I want you guys to write down 3 topics that you guys are all interested in right now. 3 topics. It could be anything. It could be girls, boys, sports, stock market, clothes, money, homes, credit. It could be anything you could ever imagine, think of. So write down 3 to 5 things you guys are interested in. You're not interested in anything? Huh? You over here? Are you interested in anything or no? Are you interested in anything?
I am, but I'm kind of busy holding up.
I appreciate that. Alright, so who wants to start? What's the #1 thing each person is interested in?
Oh, you're supposed to write it in order?
Anything, go ahead.
Okay, my #1 thing I'm interested in right now is basketball. The second thing is gaming, and the third thing is girls. EH.
I'm gonna ask that.
They don't know. I hope not, because then I'm screwed.
Okay, give me those 3 again. Alright, so we're gonna do one thing. So I want you guys all to pay attention because we have about an hour. I want to get it all in. So I want everybody to be able to tell everyone what they're interested in. So give me those 3 again.
Oh, girls, basketball, and gaming.
Girls, basketball, and gaming. Is anybody else interested in girls? Anybody else interested in girls?
It's just you.
You're a teenage boy. And don't even lie.
Is anybody else interested in basketball? Basketball, anybody? Basketball? Is anybody else interested in gaming? Yeah, everybody? Alright, so let's do this. We're going to start with basketball, right? So, we're going to go around the room. Everyone that has their hand up, don't put it down yet. What do you like most about basketball?
Everything. I just like basketball. I like LeBron James most.
Okay, young man.
I don't really like that.
Oh, you lied then. Alright, next.
I just like the game. I like how to play it, and I just.
Can you dunk yet or not yet? One day.
Football.
Next. What do you like about basketball?
Oh, the cross legs, I'm dope.
Come on, soccer boy. I saw you kicking the ball down there. What do you like about basketball?
Yeah, he's most
I saw you kick the soccer ball. You almost hit me with
I
it.
did football.
No.
I do football.
Hey, basketball. What do you like about basketball? Does anyone like the teamwork part of it?
Yeah.
Not really, yeah? You don't like the
Yes.
teamwork part of it? Does anyone like the show part of it or the running around part of it? No? Kind of, sort of? Alright. How about the girls? What do you guys like? What do you guys interest?
I'm a dancer.
You like dancing? Does anyone else like dancing? 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 Alright. So what do you like most about dancing? Besides doing TikTok. I like TikTok. I got TikTok. You can probably find me on TikTok somewhere. What do you like about dancing?
I like working with my girls and just doing that.
Like with your friends, your group of friends and all
Not
that?
my group of friends, but like not doing TikToks. I'm like an actual.
I was just teasing you.
No. Like I teach. I also teach classes.
So you like actually dancing and then actually like teaching it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. You can do it your whole life.
Since I was 3.
Wow, young. How old are you now?
About 13.
About 14 years. Anybody else dancing? Like dancing? No. Yeah? Anybody else like dancing? Any guy? You like dancing? You like everything. What don't you like? Pickles?
Yeah. Actually.
I knew that. I'm psychic too, so you better be careful because I know every one of your thoughts before you actually
Wait,
know
what'd you
them.
say?
I don't like it.
So what do you like about dancing?
I like ballet.
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna tell you guys, right? As you get older, the things that you like, right? There's not enough time in the day to always squeeze them in at all. Why? Because when you get older, you probably have to get a job, right? Probably. You have to get to and from work, probably. You have to be told what to do, definitely. You're gonna have to work for someone, and they're not gonna want you to have fun. They're not gonna want you to go out and enjoy the things you like doing, right? So I had you guys write down 3 things on paper because one of those 3 things, for the rest of your, I don't care how old you live to be, one of those things is going to be your go-to thing your entire life. Whether it's dancing, whether it's basketball, whether it's music, whether it's girls, whether it's boys, whatever it is, right? You're always going to have, I'll tell you, you're always going to have one thing that you're going to have to fall back on. So for me, my one thing was always football. So my goal was to play in the NFL. My uncle played for the Atlanta Falcons, and I played college football. And because of a coach, my football career came to an end. My football coach said, "You're not my player, I didn't recruit you. Unfortunately, you're cut from the team." So this was obviously a shock to me, right? I've been playing football since I'm 4 years old, and I'm like, I want to go to the NFL. What do you mean I'm cut? Like, this is my dream. This is what I wanted to do. And someone else decided that it was time for me to stop playing football, right? And I allowed him to get to me. I allowed him to cause me to disconnect from football. Yes, sir.
I have a similar story to that too. In high school, my coach, he was such a do it my way or no way else, and like that kind of took away the love of basketball for me. So
They usually do that, so it sucks. And I'm gonna use language. Can I curse? You guys care if I curse?
No.
I curse. You're cool with that? So it sucks because it kind of takes the fun away from something that was once fun and that you're passionate about, and now all of a sudden you almost don't like basketball anymore because someone took that from you, right? So now me, believe it or not, right? I'm sure you see a lot of white guys in suits and ties walking around, right? This is a $100 suit. It's not really an expensive suit. It looks expensive. Shoes, $100 shoes, right? Not that expensive. These aren't $1,000 clothes, right? So when I was growing up, I was just like you guys. You know, I did whatever the hell I wanted to do. Teachers couldn't tell me what to do. My ass was in detention like every other day. My ass was grounded at home 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months at a time. I used to be like, "Mom, I'm not doing that." You're grounded. She's like, "Say another word." I'm like, "Word." And there's another week, right? So I get it. I get it, right? Now, but here's what happens, right? Parents have never been parents before. Which are great. Like your parents weren't parents before they had you or your brothers or your sisters, so they don't know any better. And usually parents continue what they were taught by their parents. So if their parents were pain in the butts, right, your grandparents, your parents would be pain in the butts. And then odds are, I hate to tell you this, one day you guys are probably all going to be pains in the butts, right, to your kids. Unless you realize that everyone from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up to 100 years old should have the ability to think for themselves, right? Now, when I came here today, I didn't know what I was walking into. I didn't even know what the hell the Brooklyn Free School was. I put in my navigation, right, 7234 Clinton, or whatever the hell address this is. All right, pull up, like, where is this? I'm like, I don't even see a school around here. I saw this little sign, Brooklyn Free School. I'm like, all right, doesn't look like a school, it's a house to me, but I'll walk in. Walked in, and I'm like, where the hell am I? I'm like, I don't even know what's, I'm like, school, I don't see classrooms, you know, I don't see a gymnasium. And as I'm walking up with Jeff, he's kind of explaining to me kind of how the school lays out. And I'm like, yo, that's different. You know, it's not normal. It's not normal school, right? And I'm like, man, I wonder if I was, you know, younger, would I be in the school, you know? Like, I kind of think for myself, I do what I want. You know, if something doesn't make sense, I don't do it. If I want to do something, I'm going to do it, regardless of the repercussions, because if I want to do something, I'm not hurting anybody, I think everyone should be able to do it, right? Now, with that being said, Jeff, we can go to the next slide. Everyone has certain things they live by, right? And when I was making this presentation, and I'm sorry, there's a typo somewhere around here, I forgot an R somewhere. These are things that I live by, okay? And I'm not saying you all have to live by this. These are the things that I live by, but you all have to make your list of certain things that you stand for, right? First thing that I stand for is hard work. I love hard work. Why? Because I can control that. I can control how hard I work. I can't control really how smart I am, how tall I am. I can't control my skin color. I can't control anything other than showing up and putting hard work in, right? Huh? Multiple millions, but yeah. On my own, no help. Okay?
Wait, what?
We'll get there. Commitment, right? Does anyone know what commitment is? Can someone give me the definition of commitment? What is it? Hold on, he's not done yet. He's getting there. I'm with you. Hey, you see how quick people are to like laugh at you? Yeah. We get used to it. All right. So commitment. What does commitment mean?
Commitment is something that you don't commit to, so you have to stay dedicated to any kind of stuff.
It's basically, in my opinion, it's like being all in. Can I get one of the ladies to tell me what commitment means? You want to give me the answer? What do you got? What's your actual name?
Serena.
Serena, pretty. What does commitment mean?
Wait, what?
Commitment is, I don't know, that is a hard one. I think commitment is when you dedicate yourself to something, and when something stands in your way, you continue to push through that, and like you stick
So you're committed to dancing, right? That's your thing? Yes.
Marriage.
Marriage is commitment. Now, unfortunately, right, people forget that marriage is a commitment, right? I mean, I don't know if you guys look at the divorce rate today, but the divorce rate is obviously through the roof. And I don't think, is anybody married in this room? Other than you might be married to the game, but that's it, right? So, next one is dedication, right? So again, guys, look, here. These are things that I want you guys to realize, right? We have about 45 minutes left. I want to get through this. Dedication, pride, trust, honesty, and respect. Okay? So, read that again. Hard work, commitment, dedication, pride, trust, honesty, and respect. Right? Now, I think we've all been guilty at times, including myself, where we forget all of these things. We forget one of these things, two of these things. Right? Now, you're going to hear it from me first. I'm the type of person that I'm going to respect you until you give me a reason not to respect you. Okay? So, if your parents respect you, you respect them back. If your parents disrespect you, whether you like it or not, you're automatically going to resent them. If a teacher disrespects you or you feel disrespected, you're going to resent them. But it doesn't give you the right to go back and disrespect them, because two wrongs don't make it right, right? Now, look, someone can say whatever they want to. They can laugh at you, right, because they think they're smarter than you, or you're the only one that has balls to stand up, right, and answer the question truthfully. But people are going to laugh at you because that's what people do. That's not disrespectful. That's just people being people. So you guys got to learn how to be comfortable in your own skin. Like, don't let people tell you what to do disrespectfully. Stand in your ground and demand respect. But you also have to give respect to get respect. So a little bit about myself. As I told you earlier, I played Division I college football at Fordham University in the Bronx. Has anyone heard of Fordham University or been to the Bronx? Yeah.
No, I played against Fordham University in rugby.
Oh, cool. Okay. How old are you?
18.
You senior here?
Yeah.
Cool. I entered the residential mortgage and real estate business at age 20 in December 2007. So, huh?
That's where you missed out.
That's right, I forgot. Oh, yeah, I forgot. December. I was pretending I was Spanish, right? December. No, just kidding with you guys. It was a joke. So, I started when I was 8. I was 20 years old. Got cut from the college football team. I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with my life? Football was the be-all, end-all, and now I have nothing to do. So, 2 years older than you are now, I went into the Bronx, where I was, into neighborhoods I didn't know, into the hood, into very dangerous areas, not knowing they were very dangerous, trying to get mortgage business, right? Went out there, and all I did was apply these things that I stand by, that I live by, and before turning 26, I made over $1 million to myself on my own, never working for anybody. No help, no gift, no guidance, no education. Now, does anyone know what happened in real estate in 2007 and 2008?
Real estate crisis. The real estate crisis.
What about it? Yes, you're right. Explain it. What do you know?
Banks were selling homes to people who couldn't afford them, and everything started crashing.
So realtors were selling homes to people that couldn't afford them, and the banks were giving people the money to buy them that couldn't actually afford them. Okay? Does everyone understand that concept? Does everyone know what a mortgage is? Does anyone not know what a mortgage is? It's fine if you don't. Okay, so when you buy a mortgage or a building or real estate, you take out money from the bank to get a loan to buy, right? So if you have $10, I don't have cash on me. If you have $10 and the house is worth $10, right? And you only have $2, you give the bank, for example, $2, and then the bank gives you $8 back to buy the house for $10, right? They give you a loan. Well, people were giving money to people that had no ability to repay that $8 back. That's why everyone lost their home. That's why people were literally put on the streets and homeless. That's why people were getting robbed, right? People's credit scores got messed up because people weren't doing things the right way. So I'm 20 years old, like, hey, I just walked off the football field. I'm cool. Wow, this whole world's collapsing around me. Why? Why is this collapsing? Because people got greedy and didn't do the right thing. People forgot that people were lending money to people and they didn't care that they couldn't repay it because they weren't the ones actually losing the money or going to be hurt. So that's what happened. That's what I walked into at age 20. Now 13 years later, I'm 33 and I'm like, we got to prevent this from happening. So how do we prevent this from happening again? By talking to young adults, children, kids, and explaining to them, look, this is what happened. This is what your parents went through. This is what your grandparents went through. This is what your aunt, uncle, brother, sister, cousin, teachers went through. So this doesn't happen again. Okay? So, we're good. I'll tell you what the line said. So, I think this is the projector pulled out. So before, I'm still pointing as if it's still up on the screen.
Is that responsible for this?
Whoa, no.
You're good. You're all right. You're all right. You want to grab a seat somewhere?
Around the campfire. Wait, that's all.
Hey, that's all right. Things happen. Things happen.
I guess I'll ask you a question.
Come on, guys. You got a question? Hold on a second. Yes.
So I read that you don't have to put any money down to actually buy a house.
So I'm going to give you the direct answer. Unfortunately, that is true somewhere. Okay. From my experience, I don't agree with that. Okay. I believe in having a commitment to real estate. I believe in having what's called skin in the game, okay? So if you put more money down, you get a better interest rate to borrow on your loan, okay? So if someone might give you a home with no money down, right? But at the end of the day, you don't have anything invested or committed to that, and it's not a fair deal. That's my personal opinion. But there are banks and lenders and companies out there that do offer the ability to purchase a home with no money down. But like we said earlier, what happened the last time that happened,
Yeah.
right? Unfortunately.
Yeah. Do you think that the market is saturated right now? In a place like New York City where real estate investment.
What do you mean by saturated?
Well, there are a lot of homes, but people can't really afford them. So there's a lot of people in demand for homes, but the homes are too expensive for them to afford.
So there's an affordability issue, definitely. There's an affordable real estate issue in many of the urban major cities across the country. Basically, wages, people's jobs and employment don't cover the rapid increase of rising real estate and the rising rents that come with real estate. I believe we're due for a correction, and the only reason why real estate prices have gone up, it's not due to the amount of people looking to buy, it's due to low interest rates. So the lower the interest rates, the lower people borrow money from banks, the more people qualify, but the more it drives home values and asset prices up. Does everyone understand that? I know that's a lot of information. Does anyone have a question on that? You got a question, what do you got? No? Back to here real quick. Do you have any other questions?
No, that was it. That was wild.
Anyone else? Follow-up questions to that? I need you to write down 3 things that you're interested in. Because you missed that part. So just write down 3 things that you're interested in, hobbies, interests, if you want. Alright, when you get a chance. Okay, so before age 30, I was awarded 3 times, 40 under 40 most influential mortgage people in America. Basically, like, from an impact standpoint, education-wise, going out there, teaching people. The amount of business I did about $500 million worth of mortgage loans in the New York City market before age 30, which is, a lot. And I did it at a time where no one else was lending. It was very hard to get a mortgage. It was very challenging to get a mortgage. People didn't get into the mortgage business to help people. I got into the mortgage business because I got cut from my football team and said I gotta go help people. Other people got into the mortgage business to make money. So I made money, but I didn't get into the business to make money. I got into the business to help people. And that's why I was able to do that business I was able to do. So we can go next slide, Jim. So here's what I want you to do. So unfortunately, we only have 2 people that are over 18 in this room, right? Jeff, this gentleman right here, right? Everyone else is under 18 or under?
There's 4 people in my city.
How old are you? 18?
No, I'm 18. I'm not over 18.
You're kind of old. All right.
Oh.
So here's what I want you guys to do. So I want everyone 17 years and under to look at everyone 17 years and older. So if you're under 17, look at the 18-year-old and up. I want you to look at that as hard as you can. Stare at them. Stare at them. Right? Now why am I having you do this? Does anyone know why I'm having you do this?
Because he's ancient.
Because there's gonna come. You know why?
Shut up.
Why?
I mean, maybe it's not regulate because they're they can influence us.
It could be a part of it, but here's why. Because however old you are today, in just a few years, you're going to be that person. You're going to be 18. You're going to be 19. Now here's the other thing, right? These guys that are 18 and older, they're looking at you guys wishing that they were in your shoes, wishing that they were your age again. Think about that.
She says no, he says yes.
You don't want to know? Most do, because most people, right, who are 18 want to be 10, who are 30 want to be 20, who are 50 want to be 30, okay? And everything changes. So fast forward 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and you're an adult. And if you're 30 or 40, you're going to rewind and say, man, I remember when I was 10, 15, 20, 25 years old. So that's a real life fact that you guys are going to go through at some point. You're going to remember this. When you turn 20, when you turn 30, when you turn 40, you're going to say, I remember that guy said, man, I remember when I was 15 years old, and I remember when I was 18 years old. So I want you to remember that.
I'm 5.
Okay, next year you'll be 6. Alright, so I want you guys to think of 2 things, right? So what do we have here? Can anyone tell me what we have here? What is this? What are they?
Oh, like a mansion and a brownstone.
Okay, mansion and a brownstone? Alright, so I want you to think of real estate in 2 ways, okay? Do you guys want to buy your dream home? Where you living with your family? If you guys want to put slides on that, you can put slides. Right?
How much it cost the same amount of money though?
Let's just say the same amount. Let's say each house, as an example, is $1 million. Okay? Or do you want to buy a brownstone, right? Where you live in 1 unit, and you rent out, and you become a landlord, and you get tenants or family members to pay you rent. So, by a show of hands in this room, do you guys want to have your dream home? Who wants to have your dream home? Or who wants to have a moneymaker?
Me.
Well, how about this? How about this? Wait. Right, so here's the deal. My opinion would be, you want to buy this house first, right? Make your money, make your money, make your money, make your money, and after you have your money maker, then you go to your dream home. But do you know what America tells us to do? The exact opposite. They say, go buy your dream home. But then you're like, man, I have no money. Can't buy my money maker. Can't buy my investment property, right? Has anyone ever told you, yeah, you should really go buy an investment property? They're like, no, you should go buy your dream home. Yes.
That's what my parents are doing. Like we have like a nice like apartment, whatever. But the thing is like you can also get that money maker or whatever.
Correct.
And then live there, rent out the rest. Then once you buy your dream home, live in the dream home and rent out your place too and continue to make money.
That's exactly correct. And I think more people need to have that discussion and talk about that because you need to make your investment first and worry about yourself second, right? If you're young, if you're coming out of high school, if you're coming out of college, if you're getting your first job, the first thing you should do would be buy your money maker because you have now an asset, you have an investment, and then you buy your dream home. Yes?
So let's say I just came out of college, I don't have a job. How am I going to generate the income necessary to be able to buy the investment home?
Luckily, it's not my first rodeo, and that's in this presentation that I'm going to show you. So we're getting there. Okay? Guys, is this projector come back on or no?
It's coming on now. You gotta watch it.
Is it like a hacking
Does anyone have any other questions in the meantime while this thing's coming back on?
Okay,
Questions? Yes.
I heard there's if Donald Trump gets reelected, that he's gonna privatize mortgage loans. Mortgages.
So
And, like,
I hate politics. I've never liked a president, I've never hated a president because I've never met a president and I've never, had a discussion with a president, okay? So I think politics in general, this is my own opinion, it's all bullshit, it's all being lied to by everybody, doesn't matter whether you're black, white, purple, pink, right? People are humans and that's really what it boils down to. A lot of stuff that we all hear is just headlines. In my opinion, that from what I know, I think more mortgage business needs to be put on local community banks than a Fannie Mae, a Freddie Mac, a Federal Housing Administration. So to give you guys a little bit more deeper education. So did anyone ever hear of the Great Depression that happened?
Yes.
You heard of the Great Depression?
Yes.
You guys learned about that, right?
Yes.
So the Great Depression, right? The government created a program called FHA, right? Which was a program to save urban areas for housing. That's where FHA came from. So FHA was invented in 1943, and it's 2020. So like nothing's evolved in 80 years.
Right.
So the market has to change in order to evolve with the market. Because we're still operating based off of lending guidelines from 80 years ago. You know what I mean? So I don't know if Trump's really behind that. They've been talking about privatizing since the crash, since 2008. They said Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac should be bankrupt. So he wasn't the first person to say it, and if he did it, in my personal opinion, it would allow communities to flourish more. Because right now it's a matter of just give loans to everybody again, sell the loans off to Wall Street. If you default, they're going to foreclose on you. So for the average consumer, in my opinion, based on my experience, and I don't make more money one way or another, it would be in the best interest of the consumer to have that happen.
To have that policy
Absolutely.
privatized?
Yes.
But would that increase the price of loans?
Rates are rates. Money is money. Yeah. Wall Street would make less money. So whenever Wall Street makes less money, it's better for the consumers. You understand where I'm coming from? Right? Question? You're playing bongo over there. Alright, credit. Who knows about credit?
Credit Karma.
Horrible. Hate Credit Karma. Anyone else? You know about credit? A little bit?
Score up.
Okay, so I want you guys all to do this. You all have a piece of paper and pen? I want you to write down a number. Go to the next slide.
Number?
Write down a number between 400 and 800. It could be 400, 401, 500, 600, 700. It could be 799. Write it down if you want me to tell. It's up to you.
While you do that, another question. Is it better to borrow from a local community bank or to borrow from a bigger bank, like JP Morgan?
It depends on your personal financial status. My personal opinion, right? Me personally, because of what I know, I would always go to a local mortgage company or a local lending expert because that person knows the market and can help you out more one-on-one. When you go to a Bank of America, Chase, or Wells Fargo, a big bank, you're a loan number to them. They have trillions and trillions of dollars of assets. It's not relationship based. So from my experience, I would go to somebody local that I can know, like, trust, and form a relationship with. All right. So I'm gonna go around the room. Can actually everyone stand up for me if you don't mind? Everyone stand up. Everyone stand up. All right. So anyone that has a number under 740. So if it's 739 or less, sit down. 739 or less, sit down. Okay? Anyone under 680 or less, sit down. How the heck did that happen? I said under 740. Were you lying before? See that? Trick them. Alright, everyone's still standing. You're considered to have the best credit score in the country. Anything over 740, right? So everyone that just sat down, so if you're 740 or above, what do you have?
800.
Perfect. So this is how banks look to give you money. So anyone who sat down, if you have a credit score under 740, Chase is going to tell you, sorry, we can't help you, we can't give you a loan. You can make $100 million a year, but because of your credit score, they're going to say, can't help you out. They don't care about your name, they don't care about your occupation, they don't care about how much money you have. If you have under a certain credit score, they're automatically going to tell you to get out, right? So it's kind of messed up. That's how big banks look at you. They look at you as a credit score, not as a person. So that's back to the question. A community bank will say, you know what? You're at 640, we'll help you. You go to a big bank, privatize, because Wall Street sells bonds and mortgage-backed securities. Yeah. Oh, you ain't at 740, you're not getting the best deal. No one's perfect, you know? Things happen, right? And there's no education around credit that helps people really get their credit score up. Everyone else can sit down now. I'm sorry, you guys can all sit down.
Oh, wait,
So does everyone understand what we just did there? So credit scores, so guys,
Can you not do that right now?
Guys, credit scores range from 400 to 800. That's why I had to do that, okay? Jeff, next slide. Okay, so start it up. LLC. So you asked a question earlier. Where's the kid that asked a question earlier? About income? He was a kid, wasn't he? He's not a kid? He was asking some very tough questions. How old is he?
He's like
what?
He's
at NYU. He's what?
He's at NYU.
I'm 33, so he's younger than me. He's a kid, alright?
He's like,
wow.
So look, so guys, so,
Liability company.
very good. LLC is a limited liability company. So has anyone here ever wanted to start their own business?
Yep.
Yeah?
I tried one.
You gonna start your dancing company? TikTok? Or no?
I'm TikTok.
I'm in.
you are not.
You gonna start a dancing company one day or no?
What?
Would you ever start your own dancing company one day?
No.
No? Alright. Who here would want to start your own company? What would you want to start? What kind of company?
Like a sports team.
Sports team, that's cool.
I'm sorry, I would have said yes. I didn't realize that the goal was yes. I just.
It's not, the goal's not yet, it's not for everybody. I'll get into that. What kind of company do you want to start?
Gaming company.
A gaming company?
Yes.
Alright. What would you want to start?
A cinematography company.
All right.
A company made for filming things.
All right, you're great at it.
You'll
I can see.
understand why that's funny when you
All right.
watch the current video.
What?
A clothing line.
Clothing line? Information company? Animation. That'd be cool.
I was doing that.
Any other company? Anyone else want to start a company? Who wants to start?
Design in general.
Like clothes and all that?
No, like package. I like packaging a lot.
Okay, that's awesome. So here's what I would tell you guys, right?
Car company.
When a car?
A car company.
Car.
Car company.
Car company, okay. So here's what I would tell you guys. My personal opinion is when you go home tonight, if you have the luxury and ability to see your parents, which I hope you all can, aunt, uncle, whoever, I want you to tell them, why don't we start a family business? And they're gonna be like, are you my kid? And you're gonna be like, yes, I'm your kid, right? So the sooner you start your own LLC, your company, right? It's like $200. You do it online, your parents will do it for you, your accountant, whoever. You open up your own company, now you have income history. Now you have the ability to go when you're 18 years old and apply for your own credit card. Now you have the ability when you're in college to get a mortgage loan because now you have a track record. So go speak to your parents about maybe to open up your own company. You don't need much money to do it. A couple $100.
Open up a what? Car?
You open up your own company. Yes.
No, but you said they don't have enough something to open up something.
You have a couple $100 to open up a company. And then you can start that way. And then once you have your company open and you show people, then you can get investors. Yes.
Are banks more willing to lend to you if you have an LLC?
Right now, yes, because mortgage loans are very scrutinized, they're very regulated, and companies aren't. So the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, tries to prevent people from getting money and getting taken advantage of. So now the way banks are getting around that is like, oh, open up a company, now we're gonna give you a loan at 16%. Because they're not looking at companies yet, they're looking at personals, individuals.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Any other questions as far as opening up a company? Who's gonna be the first person in this room to have their own business?
I already have a business, but I don't really work on
Selling drugs in the corner, ain't I'm just kidding. What is it?
Wait, what?
Yo!
I'm with it. You can do whatever you want. If we make money, you just stay alive. But
I was already working on one a long time ago.
you were.
I just never finished it. I actually had a site up and everything.
Really? So I recommend everybody should have their own business, right? Because at the end of the day, if you can figure out how to make money on what you love doing, you should go ahead and do it, right?
It's a clothing company.
All right.
I like stopped working on it.
We better get back to it.
Mine was like a building.
All right. Does anyone have any other questions on opening up your own business? No? All right. Jeff, next slide. There you go. So I have a podcast. So if you are interested in business, okay, you can go on iTunes. It's called Deposit That. Okay?
Or the site.
You can go to depositthat.com, watch all the videos. You can go to Deposit That YouTube and watch all the videos. You can go to Deposit That Instagram and see all the marketing and all the guests, follow their old profiles. And it's got everything from NFL athletes, NBA players, sports agents, contractors, developers, realtors, attorneys, accountants, every type of business you can imagine is pretty much somebody on my platform, okay? So my belief, this is my own personal belief, that if you show people and no one else shows them, you'll create a name for yourself. So if I come in and I show you something that, wow, I've never seen a platform like this before, not only will you guys remember me, you guys will have me as a resource to help you guys as you grow older and need advice by getting the proper advice. So I launched my podcast last year to give people a real look into what entrepreneurship and owning your own business is like. It's not for everybody, but for the ones that like it and enjoy it, it could be something that you guys can really do great at, okay? So we have a concept called Credit Kickoff. This is what today's seminar is about. Credit Kickoff educates younger adults about the importance of having a credit score, how to build a credit score, how to monitor your credit score so no one steals your credit. Like, no one wants to steal your lunch money or steal your backpack. Well, your credit's more important than your lunch money and your backpack. So we want to obviously protect your personal information. And if you go to creditkickoff.com, you can read all about it. You can watch our videos about it. And credit is kind of like working out. It's kind of like studying for your test. If you do it once, you're not going to get the ultimate results. You're probably not going to score 100 every single time. Credit needs to be taken seriously because credit can be the difference between whether you go to college and don't go to college, or buy your home or not buy your home, or get your dream car and not get your dream car just by your credit. All right? So when you turn 18 years old, the first thing you should do is apply for your own credit card. absolutely get a credit card, manage the credit, the money that the bank gives you responsibly. Don't go buy stupid things, right? But if you use this properly, by the time you're 19, 20 years old, you could have a 780 credit score, an 800 credit score, and then when you want to buy your dream home or your money-making property, you'll have the ability to do that. So does anybody have any questions at all for me? Yes. Broke's a mindset, but go ahead.
I'm so confused about the like credit score and everything.
Sure, so I want everyone to write these 3 things down, right? If you want to. So write down EXP. So EXP is Experian. You guys ready? EXP, Experian. Equifax, EQ.
My dad has a website called Today's New Tech.
Today's New Tech.
Yeah, he just has a bunch of stuff about the newest technologies, stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
And then he has like reverse dresses and all that.
That's cool. And then write down TU, TransUnion. EXP, EQ, and TransUnion, TU. So these are 3 credit bureaus. Yes. EXP, EQ, EQ, and TU. TU's TransUnion.
And you said
EXP, EQ. It's alright. And TU.
Wait, so is all of that in the same word?
No, 3 separate things. So these are what are called 3 credit bureaus. So basically think of it as you have 3 judges. Now these 3 judges, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, look at your credit report. How many credit cards do you have? How many car loans do you have? How many home loans do you have? And what is your repayment history? So are you paying your bills on time?
No.
If you don't pay your bills on time, you get a bad credit score.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why your credit score is probably 400.
Not stuff.
Nasty.
I want you guys to look at it differently though, right? Here's where it really boils down.
Violate everybody.
Alright, so every time, just so I want you guys to all realize something. Guys, when you guys go home at night, right? Your parents or whoever you live with have to pay monthly bills. They have to pay the rent or they have to pay the mortgage. Every single month. You have a car, you have to pay a car payment or car insurance every single month. Cell phone, every single month. Netflix, every single month. Heat, electricity, every single month. Right? These are all real things. So if you don't take it seriously, now you're going to unfortunately be at a disadvantage later on in life. And what you do now, today, tomorrow, when you're 18, when you're 20, can prevent you from succeeding later on in life. Now you can always fix it, but it's going to take you longer to get back on track. Yes?
how long did it take for you to be a realtor?
I'm not a realtor actually. I used to own a real estate brokerage on the mortgage lending side, but now I'm fully private. I have no licenses at all. I just have a tremendous amount of experience. Now I do more like business ventures. But you can probably get your real estate license in 90 days, within 90 days, give or take. Yeah. So I recommend everybody, when you turn 18 years old, get your real estate license. Can't hurt, right? And worst case scenario, you learn. And if your parents ever want to sell their house, you sell the house. Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to make $20,000 for selling a house, go do it. Get your real estate license.
Right.
Do one deal, make $20,000 if you want, right? So now look, but it's also not easy. It's also very competitive. So someone asked the question earlier: is it saturated? New York City market is saturated by real estate agents, so it's very competitive. But look, if you put the work in, you put all the things we spoke about early on in the first slide: commitment, dedication, trust, honesty, respect. You'll be able to sell $1 million properties. That's a good question. Any other questions? Does anybody have anything they want to talk about?
So if you're private, that means that you get all the money to yourself?
I'm private now, more what's called like a broker advisor side. So banks will come to me and say, we need to lend $10 million. Go find us $10 million of clients. And then I'll go to all my clients and say, who needs $10 million at, to give an example, a 3% rate. And then I do a $2 million deal, a $5 million deal, a $3 million deal, and then another bank comes and says, hey, we want to give somebody $1 million. Go put $1 million out. I'll go to another group and say, hey, who needs $1 million? So I work strictly on my own for myself, not for a bank, not for an institution, not for a company. It's all on my own now.
Yep.
Yes.
What made you successful initially as a mortgage person?
Truthfully, my desire to learn. So I was never a student, just so you all know. So funny enough, I failed math twice and I never graduated college. Believe it or not.
I like that.
Okay? I didn't like school. I didn't like the topics. They didn't interest me. I liked football. I loved girls, right? And I loved business. I loved staying busy. So what I would do is I would go and study the mortgage business, and because it was always changing, it was exciting. You're always learning something new, and I loved helping people. So what made me successful is working 20 hours a day with no guaranteed pay, with the desire to go out there and help people and make a lot of money. You know, and it comes from within. You know, if you want to do it, only you are going to be able to do it. No one's going to give it to you. No one's going to do it for you. And I liked having the flexibility of working when I chose to work, which was all the time. And no one could put a cap or a ceiling, or no one could fire me because I worked for myself. It was 100% commission. Whereas football, as hard as I worked, as good as I was, a coach set a limitation on my capabilities. So going into the mortgage business free, right, if you will, I had full exposure to do what I wanted. It's a good question. Any other questions? Questions? Yes.
If you didn't go to school, do you think that would have affected like what happened?
So if I didn't go to college, I could guarantee you I wouldn't be standing here today. I mean, I don't know where I'd be. Maybe I'd be dead, right? Who knows, right? I don't know. I believe that everything happens for a reason. I believe that since I'm a very young child. And I believe that sometimes we don't understand why things happen. I believe that I got cut from my football team because kids, young adults like yourself, and the world needed me more at the time to help people get mortgages and learn about real estate, right? So, you know, your average NFL player athlete spends 3 to 5 years as a professional athlete, and then they get lost in the mix. So with me, I'm going on my 13th year in my career at 33, when the majority of my competition and people that do what I do are 60 years old, right? So with that being said, I don't know where I'd be today. I don't know what I'd be doing today. I have no idea what profession I'd be in. I'd probably be maybe in Florida or California or Texas somewhere enjoying the warm weather, maybe surfing somewhere, right? I don't think school's for everybody. I think that you need to really get, guys, listen, this is important. So I think you guys really need to get experience, and the reason why I had you write down your interests, because if you know what you're interested in, right, and you can figure out how to make money on or in what you're interested in, you'll always have a purpose. So if you like design, you said you like design, right? Figure out everything about design, A to Z, start to finish, work as someone's assistant, get an internship, work with the CEO of the best design company you can find. That'll give you an opportunity, learn it all, and then if your goal is to go out on your own, you'll have all the experience to do that. I think most people go, hey, I don't know how to build a building, but I'm gonna go build this building now. It's a great way to learn, but it's also a way to lose and get hurt. So if you figure out what you love to do, what you like to do, without money involved, maybe you should figure out how to make money on something you love to do, because then you'll be passionate about what you do, and you'll not just show up and, you know, tell people, hey, yeah, go ahead, cross the street now, or hey, would you like fries with that? You know, you don't want to work at McDonald's. If you do, great, work at McDonald's. But if you're not passionate about cheeseburgers or hamburgers or chicken McNuggets, you're probably not going to want to work at McDonald's. And eventually you're going to feel bad about yourself because you're still working at McDonald's at 40 years old. That's my personal opinion on that. Any other questions before we wrap up? You guys got 5 more minutes if you guys want to ask questions. I'm an open book.
I have something to say.
Go ahead, stand up. What do you got? Only if you stand up.
This was actually an interesting class in a way.
Oh, I appreciate that. Can I hear clap for you or what? For him, not for me. Not for him. There you go. So in your opinion, young man, how could we make this something more inspiring and something better for future classes? Well, you better find out. You can't leave until you find out. And I'll hold you down so you get no freedom to go anywhere. I don't work here, so I can do whatever I want.
I should have said anything.
Come on, use them radios. What do you got? How can we make it better? Do you want T-shirts, hats? You guys want maybe like watch a video? I don't know. What do you want to do?
It's gonna be a constant class.
Constant class?
Yeah, every Friday.
Yeah, come more often, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta talk to Jeff. Jeff's my agent. So.
Please, Jeff.
So what, guys?
We talk about some of the same things in philosophy and stuff.
You know what? I can Jeff, are there speakers on that computer?
Yes.
Do you want maybe pull up maybe like a quick, we'll show them like 2 minutes of the podcast episode, just go to deposit.youtube.com. Yes.
I already subscribed.
Oh my God! Close those goddamn tabs.
Oh my
God!
Ran out of storage?
Every single one of you.
I'm your 50th subscriber.
If
I'm your 50th subscriber.
Deposit.youtube.com.
do you have any tips if
You should never keep this many tabs open.
sports player?
You should never do this.
You want to be a professional soccer player?
Yeah.
Work your ass off every day. Don't make excuses and do the little things. Literally do the little things. Right.
You are
Stretch, do the foam roller, go to trainings. Like if I'm not here in school or home sleeping, you better be out in the park practicing your craft, you know? And do what's gonna separate you. So if your focus is speed, if you're the fastest guy in the field, keep working out speed, become faster. You know? If you're not a good defender, forget defense. Go learn how to score. You know, go learn how to pass.
Yeah, kid. Go learn how to pass, kid. How do you throw it out?
You see, you asked about football, not basketball. Because I'm tired. You could have been like that.
Swallow the air and choke.
Oh, it's $5.
My arms are good. My arms are good.
I got pushed down here.
You what?
I got pushed down here.
Ow! I'm sorry.
You might want to connect this strong.
All you smart guys in this room, no one can help the old man out here?
I probably could. I just have to hold the camera.
There's a upstairs. It's still 100. He has a hot spot. He's fine. Wait. There we go.
Alright, so guys, real quick. Okay, so do we want to watch something about, real quick, we only have a couple minutes, so we can talk about one of Kobe Bryant's friends who works for the NBA.
Yes!
That's one option. We could learn a little bit about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Or we could talk to an NFL quarterback coach who's currently at the NFL Combine.
Bitcoin.
We're only gonna watch a couple minutes of it. You guys, it's all free. You guys can go check it out. But watch a couple minutes, turn music up. So did anyone ever hear like the Millie Wop song, whatever? Millie Wop, you know, it's a song. Yeah, there you go. So my friend created that beat here in Brooklyn on Cooper Street, and he made my beat for the intro video. So you guys
How
can
dare
check
you
it out.
not press the subscribe button?
That's the consistent challenge.
Gotta be quiet, y'all.
You press it.
Where's the actual speaker?
You press mute. Just turn up your volume. Press yes.
Is this your account?
Do I have to keep holding the camera now? Do I have to keep filming my arm?
You gotta be quiet, y'all.
getting speakers?
You're absolutely imbecile. No, you don't check the heck out of me. I can't
If
hear.
you guys want to hear it until I find a speaker, you have to be quiet.
Where's Khalil? He has a speaker.